Today, it's a beautiful, auspicious day. We are here to receive and pleased to meet His Eminence Asanga Vajra Rinpoche. Thank you very much for coming here today. On behalf of Buddhist UK, a very warm welcome and thank you very much to you all for attending this auspicious Vajra Kilaya Dharma Empowerment and Teachings event here in Reading today. We have a number of Rinpoches. I also like to thank Tulku, His Eminence Rinpoche, Lasse Rinpoche, His Eminence Tulku Rinpoche Tenjing, Ken Rinpoche Sri Lama Guru, Ken Rinpoche Naresh Guru, and all other gurus. Thank you for coming here today. दुईटा पछाडि छ दुईटा अगाडि छ ढोकाहरू अनि टोयलेटहरू लेडिज र जेन्ट्सको टोयलेटहरू चाहिँ त्यो पछाडिको ढोकाबाट चाहिँ लेफ्ट जानुभयो भने लेडिज र लेडिज र जेन्ट्सको चाहिँ टोयलेटहरू छ त्यो टोयलेटहरू युज गर्नु होला त्यस्तै गरेर चाहिँ वाइफाई यो हलमा चाहिँ वाइफाई सुविधा छ वाइफाई चाहिँ तपाईले चाहिँ सिलेक्ट गर्नुभयो भने चाहिँ वाइफाई क्यास सिलेक्ट गर्नु होला वाइफाई चाहिँ मोबाइल फोनहरू हजुरहरूको मोबाइल फोन सबैले चाहिँ साइलेन्ट मोडमा राखिदिनु होला प्लिज अहिले गरिहाल्नुहोस् तपाईले जान्नुहुन्न भने पनि छेउको साथीलाई सोधेर चाहिँ मोबाइल फोन चाहिँ साइलेन्टमा राखिदिनु होला धन्यवाद थ्याङ्क यू
प्रभावकारी सिद्धि शक्तिको प्रभावहरू आजको दिनसम्म अविच्छिन्न रूपमा पुस्तागत हुँदै आइरहेको हुनाले अनि उहाँ चाहिँ 1999 मा अमेरिकामा उहाँको जन्म हुनुभएको रहेछ अनि खोन्तुङ हिज इमिनेन्स अनि बजेरको साख्या rinpocheज्यूको सुपुत्रको रूपमा साख्या परम्परामा धर्म फोडम र कुञ्जो फोडम दुईवटा परम्परा फोडमहरू रहेको छ यसमध्ये उहाँ कुञ्जो फोडम परिवारमा उहाँको जन्म भएको रहेछ र सानै बाल्यकालबाटै आफ्नो हजुरबुवाबाट र फेरि
regarding the Sakya traditions, within few minutes we cannot really complete this, introduction regarding Rinpoche's merit. So there's one story probably you've never heard, but since I learned from Tibet, my Lama Khenpo Jime Phongso, he always praised the Sakya Phongso Bajrang because his great master when he was around 70 years old. His name is Togya Ishinobu from Jiangma Buddhist Institute. And since he was quite old, he cannot go to meet any great master. Even he not interested to meet any masters. But since he heard the Sakya Dakin Rinpoche came to Zashika, came to our area, so I need to go. He walked like a baby, even he has a problem on leg. He running like a baby and sit in front of Dakin Rinpoche and to request the teachings and listen to his teachings. And a few years later, around the 1950s, and Tokai Ishino was about to pass away, and all the students went to Sakya Dakin Rinpoche and request what we can do to let our Lama long life. And Dakin Rinpoche said, so for this year, you don't need to do anything. Your Lama will not pass away, but next year, even you recite 100 times of the sutras, so your Lama will not remain anymore. And before Tokai Ishino passed away, and all the students said, oh, in the future, if we're facing any difficulties, if there's any big decisions, what we should do? And Tokai Ishino said, please go to find the Sakya Tongso Gordon's master, like the Sakya Dakin Rinpoche. He will give you the best suggestion. So since, especially today, many Chinese, they followed the Tibetan Seda Larung Institute, and they all have the same root master, Kambu Jime Kongso. And when Kambu Jime Kongso was alive, he always praised Sakya Dakin Rinpoche. Even he cannot go to America, but through the phone, always request teachings. Even Kambu Jime Kongso reviewed the new dharmas, Xiangdai Jinggang Jue, the first dharma of Vajra, firstly he offered to Sakya Dakin Rinpoche. He's showing the Sakya family, the lineage, how important for us.
Venerable Khen Rinpoche, Tenla, and also Sotru Rinpoche, and also all of the other Khenpos and Lamas and realized beings. And I would also like to offer my warmest greetings to the assembly gathered here. UK data, Neganashi, Ishelon data, and Bemaka Gatsam, Lasobanamki, Kojik, Name, Tone, Tanga Paringe. Beijing the Yongche, in Kanabanya the Tuche, the name of the Zering in the Ya, Shambashita, Lojon Shambashita, Gi Lungdang, Chi, Dodi Jamstang, Neganashi, Tedanyamdo Ya, Kulu, Pulbe, Torans, or the village, Martin, Kanabalaya, Puyin.
Buddhist Commemorating UK, Yeshe Long Day, Padmakara, सेन्टर को संयुक्त आयोजनामा आज मति शोधना चार आसक्त मुक्तिको धर्मदेशना वज्र किलायको अभिषेक प्रदान गर्ने यो कार्यक्रममा म रेडिङमा आउने अवसर प्राप्त भएको छ।
Reading the Ishe Longde and the Bemakara Gatsal. I have come here to wedding for the very first time. I believe I passed through wedding before when I visited Bath. I think it's on the way, if I'm correct. But I didn't get to stop here and to enjoy the scenery. So this time I'm very happy to be able to visit here, and upon the request of the organizations, I will be giving today the mind training on parting from the four attachments, an oral transmission of it, as well as a short explanation, as well as the Vajrakilaya Dharma empowerment of the current tradition.
Dharma Desana, यसको आगम यो लामा साक्य पछ्याम्बो उहाँ 11 वर्षको कलिलो उमेरमा आफ्नो पूजनीय बुवाको स्वर्गवास अथवा निर्वाण हुनुभएको थियो। सानो कलिलो उमेरमा उहाँको बुवा फन कोन्छो ग्याल्बो निर्वाण भइसकेपछि उहाँलाई आफ्नो ममतामयी आमाले बारी ढोचावाबाट शिक्षा दीक्षाको प्रबन्ध मिलाउनु भएर कलिलो उमेरमा नै उहाँलाई साक्य गदिधारमा जिम्मेवारी सम्हाल्ने वचन दिनुभयो र बारी ढोचावाबाट धेरै प्रकारको धर्मदेशनाहरू उहाँले ग्रहण गर्ने अवसर प्राप्त भएको थियो र यसमा सम्पूर्ण प्रबन्धहरू उहाँलाई आफ्नो ममतामयी आमाले दिलाउनु भएको थियो र 11 वर्षको यो कलिलो उमेरमा उहाँले धेरै प्रकारको शिक्षा दीक्षाहरू लिनुभएको थियो।
So we give you a brief introduction, and therefore such a point you were still too young to
办法上师萨迦公开讲坛的这个传记啊，这个历史，是在这个第4代班智达萨迦公开讲坛。实际上他年纪很小的时候，他的上师公开年后就是很早的圆寂了，他并没有这个在经受完整的这些教法。于是呢，他的母亲呢就建议他到班地大义师那边去继续去接受。
Vajra became the teacher of Sashi Kumar Nyingpo and bestowed a great number of Dharma teachings for him.
因此呢，班地大义师呢就成为了。
我的这些呢，那么Vajra那么三个班智不能干嘛去？他可以开班智能充沛，他去的已经是差不多有2场，但也不能开了呀，他可以老张的有的是，去老张的有的，但是那么差不多呀，也不能谁的有的是，谁的有的差不多呀，但是他们那么呀，水平，你谁的那时候直接这样。
पर्दछ भनेर वचन दिनुभएको थियो। शिक्षा अध्ययनको लागि प्रज्ञा चाहिन्छ, विवेक चाहिन्छ र प्रज्ञा प्राप्तिको लागि आर्य मञ्जुश्रीको साधना गर्नुपर्दछ भनेर गुरु स्वयंले उहाँलाई आर्य मञ्जुश्रीको अभिषेक प्रदान गर्नलाई 6 महिनासम्म उहाँले आर्य मञ्जुश्रीको साधना र तपस्या गर्नुभएको थियो।
So, Lama Vajra advised Sashi Kumar Nyingpo that as you are the noble son of your father, born into the very important.
पछि आर्य मञ्जुश्रीको मुखारविन्दबाट उहाँलाई एक श्लोक धर्म देशना गर्नुभयो, जुन एक श्लोक धर्म देशनामा यो जीवनको अशक्ति त्याग्नुपर्ने र आफ्नो स्वार्थको निमित्तको असत्य त्याग्नुपर्ने विदित गरी 4 प्रकारको शिक्षाहरू दिनुभएको विषयलाई उहाँले चिन्तन मनन गरेर हेर्दा यो जीवनमा गरिने सम्पूर्ण अभ्यासबाट सम्यक सम्बुद्ध प्राप्त गर्न सक्ने सम्पूर्ण उद्देश्यहरू त्यसै एक श्लोकमा सम्पन्न भएको उहाँले अनुभव गर्नुभएको थियो।
With the instruction of Vajra Sashi Kumar Nyingpo practiced for 6 months. And at the end of the 6th month retreat, one day, in the space in front of him, Sashi Kumar Nyingpo beheld Manjushri himself, flanked by 2 bodhisattvas, so 3 figures combined. And Manjushri gave a teaching to Sashi Kumar Nyingpo, a pith instruction. And the teaching was very short but very profound, and it went as, if you are attached to this life, you are not a true Dharma practitioner. If you are attached to psychic existence, you do not have renunciation. If you are attached to your own well-being, you do not have the mind of enlightenment. And if you have grasping, you do not have the view. So later, when Sashi Kumar Nyingpo contemplated on the meaning of this verse, he came to understand that he understood that there is not a single instruction which leads the practitioner to full enlightenment according to the Sutrayana path, which is not included in this verse. This verse, although short, contains the complete path to enlightenment.
在公开讲坛在6月闭关的最后一天呢。
Some of my observations, I guess you could say, or at least what I believe the teaching means to me.
大家可以看到啊，这个道德的篇幅非常长。
주의하는 자기가 말했어.
यो जीवनको निमित्त मात्र हामीले सोचेर धर्म अभ्यास गर्नु भन्ने विषय हामी बुद्ध शाक्य मुनिको सिद्धान्तमा कर्म हेतुफललाई हामीले आत्मसात गर्ने यो जीवनमा मात्रै हामीलाई आवश्यक पर्ने वस्तुहरूमा सीमित हामीले धर्म गर्ने हो भने हेर्दाखेरि देख्दाखेरि धर्म गरेको जस्तो राम्रो देखिए तापनि वास्तविक धर्म अभ्यास गरेको अर्थमा लाग्दैन र यो जीवनमा मात्रै हामीलाई उपयोगी हुने वस्तुमा मात्रै आसक्त भएर हामीले त्यो उद्देश्यले मात्रै धर्म अभ्यास गर्ने हो भने त्यो धर्म चाहिँ वास्तविक धर्मको अर्थ दिन सक्दैन। त्यसकारणले योभन्दा पछिको जन्महरूको लागि पनि हामीले सोचेर बुझेर हामीले अभ्यास गर्नुपर्दो रहेछ भन्ने अर्थ चाहिँ यसले बुझाउँदछ।
Whatever dharma practice you do, it can be for however long you do it or however many types of dharma practices you do, it does not become a true dharma practice if you practice it out of attachment to this life. And what does that mean? It means without any concern of the future lives, subsequent lives following this one. If you just practice the Dharma for the sake of this life, for temporary benefits like long life, good health, success, wealth, and fame, and if you practice the Dharma with such narrow-mindedness, then it cannot really get you very far in your spiritual path or in your progress. Even if the practice you perform may on the surface level or outwardly look very nice and look very, very dharmish, I guess you'd say. It looks like a very pure, authentic Dharma practice. It does not become a Dharma practice because your state of mind is not correct. It is not correct. And so what this does also indirectly show is that as Buddhists, as Dharma practitioners, we do need to believe in the law of karma, and we do need to believe in rebirth.
सक्त भएर धर्म अभ्यास गर्नु बौद्ध परम्पराको थेरवाद र महायाना र थेरवाद दुवै परम्परामा यो उपदेश लागू हुनेछ।
Someone in one's life may be worth being attached to if one would never be separated from it, but that is not the case in our life. In our life we have our parents, our loved ones, our friends, and also all of the hard work which we have accumulated in our lives, all of the success and the wealth and all of that. Eventually, because everything is conditioned and subject to change, we must separate from it. And especially at the end of one's life, when one dies, one cannot take with oneself all of one's parents or one's friends or relatives or children or whoever one feels close to, one's partner. We cannot take them with us. We have to leave them behind and move on. And also, all of the wealth. And our children and all of them. It's very important. We need to have loving thoughts towards them. But there is a difference between love and unconditional love. The love which the Buddhist teachings speak of is unconditional love. It's a love which does not really have, it's not based on attachment. It really is a thought which you wish for the benefit of others, but you don't really expect much in return. And there's no expectations in this kind of love, at least concerning oneself. It's all about giving to others. And so this is the kind of love that we should generate, we should develop. Because if we have the kind of love which we are attached to our loved ones, this kind of love, usually we show some form of affection and we expect them to reciprocate in the same way, to show sort of the same effort back. And so we can feel good ourselves. But due to our defilements and our karma. And so therefore we are stuck in this situation. And if you are attached to samsara, even though it does not have any good qualities in reality, if you are still attached to it, then it is a sign that you do not have renunciation.
प्रकारको दुःखहरूले सम्झँदाखेरि हामी संसारप्रतिको आसक्तको भावहरू घट्दै जानेछ। आफ्नै जीवनकालमा परिआउने विभिन्न दुःखको घटनाक्रमहरूले सम्झिँदा पनि संसारप्रतिको दुःखहरू न्यूनीकरण हुँदै जाँदैछ। र त्यस्तै प्रकारले युकेमा बसोबास गर्ने जीवन यहाँको समस्याहरूलाई बुझ्दाखेरि विभिन्न तहतको दुःखहरू, जस्तै हामी कसैलाई धेरै आफ्नो पक्षको आसक्त गर्छौँ। जस्तै फुटबल खेल्ने हो भने एउटा टिमप्रति हाम्रो आसक्त छ भने आफूले मन परेको समूहको पराजित भयो भने अनि हाम्रो मन दुखेर आउँछ। त्यसले गर्दाखेरि यस्तो यो दुःखहरू त क्षण क्षणमा चाहिँ आउने जाने गर्दछ। त्यस कारणले हामी यो संसारप्रतिको आवश्यकताहरूलाई चाहिँ दुःखको समस्याहरू बुझेर त्याग्नु पर्दछ।
So at this part, we need to contemplate on the different types of suffering. The Buddha taught that in samsara there is the suffering of suffering, there's conditioned suffering, and the suffering of change. But even if one is not able to contemplate on or reflect on all of that, one can at least reflect upon the suffering which we see in our daily lives, which is apparent in our very lives. And for example, we have a number of problems, I guess, in the UK about whether we need Brexit or not, and there are many opinions and a lot of debates about that. And not coming to a conclusion, like a united conclusion, that this is what we need for this country is a headache for many, I think. And that's, in a way, that's suffering. Also, when you have the teams that you like Manchester, Arsenal, and then your team loses, and then you feel disappointed, right? No one wants to see their team lose. So that disappointment is also a form of suffering.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sandwich stuff. Hai हाम्रो दिदीबहिनीहरु
ल भिडियोमा पनि बिचारा बहिनीको
कस्तो शीतल हावा भिडियो खिच्दिएको है हजुरलाई ल हजुर ल
वंशको गुरुधारा अटुट गुरुधारा परम्परा हुँदै रहँदै आएको यहाँलाई जानकारी गराउँदछु।
And the Kun clan, which is the family clan I belong to, and which are the upholders of this Dharma teaching.
मार्ग हुँदै तिब्बतमा पाल्नु भएको बेलामा तिब्बतको राजा टिचौँ देवचन र तिब्बतको र आज ठेचौँ देवजनको निमन्त्रणामा आचार्य शान्त रक्षिता उहाँहरूको अगुवाईमा तिब्बतमा सम्य बौद्ध महाविहारको निर्माण स्थापना भएको थियो। सर्वप्रथम धर्मराज ठेचौँ देवचनले आफ्नो मूल गुरुको रूपमा गुरु रिम्पोछे पद्मसम्भवलाई गुरु थापना गरिसकेपछि उहाँले दीक्षाहरू दिनुभयो। उहाँहरूको शिष्यहरू अन्तर्गतमा 7 जनालाई भिक्षुको सिल प्रदान गर्नुभएको थियो। ती 7 जना शिष्यहरूमध्ये 3 जना युवा शिष्यहरूमध्ये खोन्लुयोङ्गो नाम गरेको शिष्य उहाँ चाहिँ भिक्षु हुनुहुन्थ्यो र उहाँलाई वज्रगुरु पद्मसम्भवले साक्षात् शिष्यको रूपमा ग्रहण गर्नुभएको र त्यसमा पनि वज्रकिलाय र विशुद्ध को अभिषेक र आगमहरू निर्देशनहरू पूर्ण रूपमा प्रदान गर्नुभएको हुनाले खोन्लुयोङ्गो देखि आजको दिनसम्म यो अटुट अविच्छिन्न धारा परम्परा हुँदै आएको यो वंशज परम्परामा आजको दिनसम्म अटुट धारा परम्परा हुँदै आएको यहाँलाई जानकारी गराएको छ।
Sambhava arrived into Tibet, and through the patronage of Dharma King Chisum Delsen, Guru Sambhava, along with the Abbot Shantarakshita, established the Buddha Dharma in Tibet, and the very first monastery, Samye, was built. And before that time, as there were no, as Buddhism did not exist in Tibet, there were no monks, no Tibetan monks. So in order to examine if the Tibetans were capable of maintaining or preserving the Vinaya vows, ordination vows, 7 men were tested, were chosen and tested, and by Shantarakshita, and among the 7 men tested, one was Kun Nagintra Rakshika, also known as Kun Luangsua, from the Kun clan, and they were all successful in keeping the vows, and due to that, it opened the doors for Buddhism to spread in Tibet and for Tibetans to become monks and nuns. And so, Kun Luangsua and also his younger brother Kun Dorje both became disciples of Guru Sambhava and received from Guru Rinpoche the Yangdak and Vajra Dharma cycles.
关于这个法宝的前引罗马的这个教法当中，当时瑜伽3部的这个内容当中分为了18个大的这个序部分类，其中呢，根据金刚诀的这个序部经典呢，就是讲到莲花上。
给我娘把三把长出一直都多一点吧，来把它烧了，咱们是把它弄完手。在那里看，先把它拆为去年，我给它改美出的。yoga number some ge nan chen tantra chimbo de choge gi chira purba robe gi de namla den sange ni ba pema thoten sagi jotab gi de thaye ba zene pyo gi josu chega yapse zoro gi be jebang sosu todam gi kalbara charshin jube jewungen do giro theda gi wense rin chal changwa par ma che ba le chembe kaso thuma she che ba nam gi na ne ni dara cha ba khe lo ye wang be 부담 큰데 주베 원고 다대 파도 삼마제베 길에 쳔베 신라기 세진다 친에 가밤 끈에 개바도 파신 된다 단자와 되니라 템베 민제기 닝보 또메 원고를 주바기와 나 New good deeds and for the multiplication of those good deeds. 三条标准的意思。
所以在
So this is blessing of the
दियो हामीलाई
साहब actually couldn't take it up.
आइजु आइजु यता बस्नु 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 रेडी
तल बस्ने तल बस्नु गुरु